Welcome back to AM Northwest. It's a juicy suburban spy scandal for the digital age. The new docuseries Spy High explores what happens when a prestigious high school secretly accesses the webcams of students' school-issued laptops, all the while those kids were in the privacy of their own homes.
A lot of people was putting games on there.
Watch videos, download music. But, I thought I was using it in the privacy of my own home.
My teacher received a phone call summoning me to the office.
She held up a picture of Blake in his bedroom. She accused him of selling drugs.
You have pictures of me in my bedroom? Suddenly, it's dozens of kids, 56,000 images.
How many other family members might have been swept up in this?
And that green light comes on.
The green light.
The green light, like that's how you know they're watching you.
Why did they turn on that computer?
Who is making these decisions?
We put doors on teenagers' bedrooms for a reason.
I find the allegations to be offensive and outrageous.
You're going to jail, right?
We welcome the director and executive producer of Spy High, Jody McVeigh-Schultz. Good morning, Jody.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
You bet. This is an incredible docuseries. Great work, I have to tell you. Now, you knew a little bit about this before it was brought to you as an idea to direct, right?
Yeah, I grew up outside of Philadelphia, where this story takes place. I knew the high school in question because it was Kobe Bryant's high school. That's kind of what it was famous for. But then in 2010, this story broke that the school district had been using webcams and the laptops they gave out to students to surveil those students, take pictures of them in their bedrooms.
It became a huge scandal. One of the kids at the center of your docuseries, Blake Robbins.
Blake Robbins.
Yes. His family decides to sue the school district because he was called into the vice principal's office and accused of dealing drugs. And then the school district basically defends themselves in an unbelievable way. What is in the mind of the school district that would make them even okay with doing this, you think?
Yeah, so the justification for the software was that they wanted to protect lost and stolen laptops, right? And one of the journalists in our show says it's kind of like using a bazooka to kill a fly.
Right.
This kind of surveillance was not necessary just to protect inventory, but it's what happens when you give administrators that kind of access and power. What we get into is that kind of thing can easily be misused. And that's what we saw in this, right? It's once you turn on software that can surveil students, it took a picture every 15 minutes automatically.
In the privacy of their own bedrooms,
Yes.
while they were sleeping, while they were changing, because kids just leave their laptop open.
Exactly. Yeah, and they had no control over what was going to be in front of that webcam. I mean, kids were bringing these laptops into the bathroom so that they could listen to music while they were showering. So really dangerous. And the FBI actually got involved at the time to see if there was any criminal, issues.
Blake Robbins and his family became instant overnight celebrities, so to speak. They became the center of the scandal. And then you find out how the school district then attacks them. And then the whole entire school, the parents and students themselves, attack the family.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I think that's one of the first big surprises here is that instead of supporting them, I feel like most of the other parents in the community supported the school district.
Right.
And part of that is about, protecting the image of this really, really prestigious school. And also, it's a suburban scandal is part of the story we're telling. And the Robbins family had a bad reputation in this town. And it gets back to something that we see often in stories like this, which is when you're victimized, do you need to be the perfect victim?
Right.
No one's going to be a perfect victim. And really, no matter what sort of skeletons you have in your closet or, what other issues someone can dig up if they're going to do an expose on you, should you have to have a camera taking pictures of your child in their bedroom? Like, no, right?
Right.
So we get into, like, what makes a community tick? Who gets to make the decisions about what's best for kids? And then part of what happens in this story is that they realize through this investigation, it's not just Blake Robbins. There are dozens of kids that this has happened to, and there were tens of thousands of images taken. And so it kind of like opened everybody's mind, and all of a sudden there were multiple students being victimized.
And it seems like, I mean, I just watched the first episode, which it's so good. It really is so good.
Thank you.
But what you see is coming is one black student, an honor student. An honor student was targeted as well. And it seemed like they were trying to find the bad kids, like really look at what the bad kids were doing.
Yeah, it's really hard. I think part of what happens in high school is that kids are put into archetypes. And this is something we deal with a lot in the series, right? You know, you have your yearbook, the most likely to succeed or class clown. But also what happens is that school administrators, whether they're trying to or not, I think put kids into categories of the good student and the bad student.
Yeah.
And that category can really define you. It can be self-fulfilling, and it can be really dangerous. And so if you're using a software to try to figure out what the bad kids are up to, well, that can be really harmful to somebody who's really trying to do their best, right? And people can get put into boxes that they really don't deserve to be in. And we found that happen with one of the students.
Yeah, you can see the trauma as they are now adults. You can see that they're still hanging on to some of the trauma they experienced during that whole scandal. It is really incredible. I mean, what a great story. We want to tell our viewers that all 4 episodes of Spy High are streaming now on Prime Video. Thank you so much, Jody. Great work.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
You bet. All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.